Uh-oh. Uh-oh, who let us get hot? 2 consecutive sweeping days in a row. All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Yes, we're in the car yet again, but why not? It's lucky right now. 2 sweeps in a row. We've gone 2-0 in the last couple nights. Last night we kind of got by the skin of our teeth, or whatever the saying is. The Brooklyn Nets covered for us, as well as the Milwaukee Bucks. But again, we're on a 4-0 run. That is 2 nights in a row with no losses. Mini sweeps, 2-0 each night. But yeah, we're gonna jump into each and every NBA game here, and I'll give you my lean, give you what I'm thinking. My final plays, what we're actually going to be rolling with, will be in the pinned comment, so make sure to check that out, guys. Let's hit the like button for 2 sweeps in a row, and if you're new, hit that subscribe button as well. And before we get into the picks, I do want to quickly say something. I was thinking about it because I was reading, and I don't often always check my Twitter DMs, but I was reading them, and there was like negative and overly positive. Guys were like, oh my God, you're winning me so much money this year. And then people were like, oh my God, you suck. And at the end of the day, I was like, there's a happy medium. Like, we're posting this on YouTube. We're turning on the camera, or usually the mic. Obviously, we're just in a car today. But I do want people watching to know that, like, regardless of the picks, luckily, somehow, you know, this dumb brain is better. You know, we win more often than we lose. So we're lucky there. But I want to do this to entertain and to grind and wake up every single morning and talk NBA basketball, right? I'm going to be wrong some nights. It's easy to say this now after 2-0 days, but I was looking at them and just sort of like the margin of hate comments or hate DMs versus love comments and love DMs. There is a medium there. Like, we're here to entertain. We're here to talk NBA. There's going to be nights where I come on here after an 0-100 night and I'm like, I stink at this, right? So just keep that in mind, I guess. I don't want to get too, mushy in the first couple minutes of the video, but it did cross my mind. Like, we all have to realize this is, a entertainment platform at the very bottom floor, you know what I mean? So hopefully that makes sense to you guys, but I don't know what I'm talking about here. Let's go ahead and jump into the picks here. We're starting it off with the Hornets hosting the Bulls here. Hornets getting 5.5 points total, setting at 233.5 as we look at this now. Early November, Chicago won 106-88. The Hornets obviously had some injury bugs back then. In their last 10, 3-6-1 are the Hornets. The Chicago team playing pretty good against the spread. 7-3 here. Excuse me, I don't know what was about to happen. 7-3 against the spread. On the road, 3-2 in their last 5. I do think that 5.5 points is a lot to ask for the Chicago team, but that is the direction I am going to lean here. Chicago coming off of a loss to Indiana a couple nights back. Charlotte coming off of a loss to Phoenix, a bad loss to Phoenix, but I just don't think that Charlotte has the it factor right now. So barring any, major injury updates or anything like that we don't foresee with Chicago, I am going to lean Chicago minus the points here. In terms of a total, I could see this one going under. I think this total is very high, probably Hornets kind of swaying that number, but I am going to lean the under in this one, and Chicago minus 5.5. Now, keep an eye on the pinned comment to see if this becomes a final play, like I always tell you guys, and like I said at the start of this video, but that's going to be my lean for now here. Moving on, we got Detroit taking on the Nets here. Nets cashed for us last night. They're 7.5 point favorites at home here. Total sitting at 233. These two teams played week before Christmas. Brooklyn won 124-121. A closer game than you probably would have imagined. That was the only meeting of this season. Brooklyn in the last 2 games at home, 0-2. Not like Detroit's doing anything. They are 2-8 against spread in their last 10, 1-7 in their last 8. They're not playing too well. I like the under here. That's probably my favorite play in the game. In terms of a pick here, I wish that this was a double-digit spread like Detroit have been getting, plenty of times this season. But because Brooklyn's on a back-to-back, I think that weighs it down a little bit here. But I'm going to sound the psycho alert alarm. I'm going to lean Detroit plus 7.5. Brooklyn's on a back-to-back. They've not covered in their last 2 home games. Maybe we get a little bit of magic there, but again, I like the under here more than I do either side. Next, we got the Celtics taking on the Knicks. Celtics, 8.5 point favorites, total 224.5. The Celtics coming off a tough loss against the Miami Heat there, coming off 2 losses back-to-back, actually. Unfortunate there. In early November, these two teams played. Boston won 133-108. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. I don't like the Celtics side of this. Do I think they win the game? Yes. If you can tease this, if you can get them down to, a 5-point teaser, 3.5, I love it. 8.5. This is a Knicks team that can grind and keep up with people. So, you know, I don't bet against the Celtics, so I'm not going to lean either direction here. But in terms of a total, I do like the over. It is doable for both these teams, 224.5. But, you know, I'm kind of telling you what I lean without telling you what I lean, as I'm a biased Celtics fan here saying I'm not leaning the Celtics. But I do like the over 224.5. I think this Knicks team just can keep this game close and back and forth. All right, Rockets getting 7 points at home, taking on the Cavs here. Donovan Mitchell should be healthy. He looked good at the end of the game. He is questionable tonight, though, with the groin, so we'll see if he does get the run. Houston, Kevin Porter Jr. is questionable as well. This Houston team has one win in their last 10 games. It came against Minnesota a couple nights back. They were underdogs. They won it outright. I don't think 7 points is enough for Houston to be the play here, so I'm going to lean Cleveland minus the 7 points. In terms of a total, 221. I think this one goes way over. Maybe I'm crazy, but I do think that's one of my most favorite plays of the night, the over here. All right, we got the Suns hosting the Mavericks. Suns only 1.5 point favorites at home here. Surprisingly, this Dallas team, I think I've said it in multiple videos, this Dallas team, their spreads that they get really surprises me on a night-to-night basis. I don't know what it is, but I usually see them coming in at spread lines, and I'm like, what the heck? I would assume it would be this or that. But this one, 1.5 points they're getting here. In their last 10 here, they're 3-7. They're 1-4 in the last 5 on the road against the spread. 1-5 in their last 6 against the spread overall. In terms of injuries, Christian Wood out. We know Devin Booker's out for the Suns. But nonetheless, I think that this Phoenix team finally sort of felt something click, right? 4 wins in a row, 4 covers in a row against decent talent. Memphis and Brooklyn included in those 4 wins. But I don't think that continues tonight. So I'm going to lean Dallas getting the points here. I don't think this becomes a final play, but it is a pretty strong lean. It's about as close to me being convicted in making this a final play without probably pulling the trigger. In terms of a total, 222.5, I really don't have a read on that. I'm going to stick away from that total. All right, guys, quick video today. Final game, we have the Clippers taking on the Spurs. Clippers 12.5 point favorites, total 233. This Clippers team has looked very good at times. I'll give them their credit, but I don't think 12.5 points is a Clippers-like line right now. I know the Spurs stink, but I'm leading Spurs 12.5 here. Total, again, 233. I'm going under there as well, guys. I think that the Spurs team can at least keep it to 12 points. Can they? Maybe. Who knows? This Spurs team is so erratic and they stink. But I do think 12.5 points. I'm more or less fading the fact that the Clippers are 12.5 point favorites against anybody. Even though they're having a decent year, right? I'm not trying to rag on that, but they are up and down. So I'm leaning Spurs here plus 12.5. And that is going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. Quick one. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep winning. Let's go. Peace out, guys.